I bought a 200x magnifying lens for my iPhone to look at baseball cards up close. And today we're going to look at the 1979 Wayne Gretzky O-Pee-Chee rookie card because there's just so many amazing features to look at. Before we get into that, I just want to say this card is amazing to me. I love the history associated with it. I love the fact that O-Pee-Chee used wire cutters. We've got rough edges and all the fun things like that. And if you're familiar with the first print blue lines, we're going to show you that here. So this is a card I'm in love with. This actually is a card that was in my possession. I just flipped it for a profit, but I have a little bit of seller's remorse, but don't worry about that. So here I'm gonna go across from the bottom of the card on the yellow arrow here up through, and I'll talk a little bit about what we see here. But we're in the Oilers logo, and what's super cool is when we look at the Oilers logo, there's actually two different colors that are supposed to be on top of each other to make that red. You can see they're a little bit offset here. And then this is just amazing to get the colors. There's all these little different dots and pixels. This is the hockey stick that makes the picture look reasonably good from a distance. You'll see the Topps card of this version of this card looks better. And here's the face of the great one. It's amazing up close, just all the different shading that goes into making this picture. And what's also crazy is then the borders, the blue border and the white border, is perfectly flooded with color. So it's not pixelated like the photo area. And then this will just show you the top edge, the little rougher cut edge there. But now let's take a look at the right hand side. So starting on the top right hand corner, you're going to see some damage and some wear there. And as we go down, while this is a rough edge in relation to cards today, especially more modern cards, this is actually the better looking edge of this card. And so I want to show you this first so you can see kind of like what a pretty decent edge. That's probably the worst spot on this side here. But you can see, like, you know, it's a rough edge, but it's not too bad. And then we'll come down here and take a look at the corner, which is a little bit banged up, if I recall correctly. Yeah, they're not too bad. And then those scratches you can see are actually on the case, the plastic case. But now let's go on the other side. Let's go top to bottom on the other side. I left a picture here of the edge you saw so you can compare. What you'll notice here is just a much wider area of torn paper. And so the cut with the wire cutters, the way they did this on this edge, is so rough. If they're not stacked properly, it kind of pulls. And so that's why even from a distance, you can see this white edge. When you look, the blue top portion stops first. Then there's almost like a diagonal cut where you can see a lot of fiber left over. I actually think it's cool. I mean, to pay $3,000 for a card with a flaw like this, I love it. It's a piece of history and a piece of technology here. Now this video we're going to look at some features. So this one on his shoulder I believe is actually just a print defect specific to my card. While his other shoulder, this is a very famous color blotch that is on his O-Pee-Chee rookie. It's not as prevalent in his Topps rookie, and it does have this shape. We'll just focus it here a little bit. That shape with the little line coming down here, that is a real part. So sometimes looking at counterfeit Wayne Gretzky O-Pee-Chee rookies, they look to make sure that that's actually included because that is a pretty recognizable characteristic for this card. And here's a side-by-side comparison of the fronts of on the left is the O-Pee-Chee card that we've been looking at. On the right is the 1979 Topps. So what you'll see is the border, the blue border color is darker on the Topps card versus this almost teal blue on the O-Pee-Chee. And then the photo is just that much clearer and that much sharper on the Topps card. So if you want a very aesthetically pleasing looking card, you're going to want the Topps card. But to me, the O-Pee-Chee is the Wayne Gretzky rookie to get. It's rarer, it's worth more, and has a lot more features like this. It's also harder to find in high grade condition, and I kind of love the card for its flaws. But now let's look at the back. So a fun part about the O-Pee-Chee cards, the Wayne Gretzky rookie, is that some of them have these blue lines right here under the skater on the back. Some people call them the first print blue lines. I don't think it's really been clarified whether it really was the early run of the Gretzkys. But I only look for O-Pee-Chee Gretzky rookies with these blue lines. Because they're more rare, I think it's better whether it was an early run or a late run in the printing. That's kind of what I do. So let's take a look at these print lines. And what you'll notice is they're actually printed on top of the graphics, and they're not very good. they're not consistent. They're blotchy. You can see areas that are thicker, areas thinner, areas that are completely missing. And they're actually really hard to see. They're faint, and you'll see all different types of qualities of these blue lines. Some cards who have them, they're very faint. Some cards who have them are very prominent. This is in between those two areas. And that is why I love this card. That's why I love looking at it up close in a magnoscope here, or microscope. And if you like these weird cards or the weird ways that I like to look at them, make sure you click like, click subscribe, leave me a comment, and I'd be happy to do these for more cards coming up soon. Thank you.